Good day, TED subscribers. This is Sir Gerald of JED Media, your learning resource partner. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, comment, like, and share.
Are you ready for today's lesson? Sure. This is about the definition, nature, and characteristics of research. This is for our English 10 fourth quarter, module number 5, week number 5. Once again, this is Sir Gerald, your English teacher. To formally start our discussion, let's talk about our learning targets. What are we going to expect after going through this module? We have to define a research. Give the importance of research in different academic disciplines. Identify the characteristics of a research, and the 3 bullets will be discussed for the following week. Welcome to our English class once again. I want you to digest the essence of English proficiency. I am your English educator, your mentor and motivator. Let's hit this. The definition, nature, and characteristics of research. I know that you have ideas about this, but let's try to dig deeper. Let's try. I want you to read each statement and identify whether it is true or false. The first one. Research is a scientific investigation of an issue or problem that people encounter. What do you think? Number 2. It is a systematic procedure is not necessary in the conduct a research study. Research can lead to a discovery of new information or concepts. Research involves a subjective process of analyzing phenomena. And lastly, research study is only for the professionals. What do you think? Ready? Let's check. True is number 1. That is correct. It's a scientific investigation of an issue or problem that people encounter. If there is a problem, then that's researchable. If the problem is existing, that is researchable. Number 2 is false, because we have to follow a systematic procedure or a step-by-step process when we are conducting a research study. Number 3 is correct. Number 4 involves objective processes, not subjective ones, but objective processes of analyzing phenomena. And lastly, false. Research study is not only for the professionals. Even you are in different fields, we can be researchers. We can conduct research. There we go. Let's continue. Let's explore. I want you to think of a certain problem that greatly bothers or affects you. Can you think of any? We have your example, the increase of irresponsible posts in cyberbullying in social media. I know that you are all affected by this because if we're going to check, students nowadays are exposed to different social media posts, and that bother you. I believe so. Let's continue. Let's try to define research. I know that it was discussed in our previous modules or in our previous presentations, but let's try to recall. Research, according to Prato, Navel, and Carey in 2017, it is an act of studying something carefully and extensively in order to attain deep knowledge. In order for a person to be able to understand what's going on, he or she has to study. Second one, research is a very careful investigation of something that purports the contribution of additional or new knowledge and wisdom. If there is an existing study, if there are existing researches, and if you want to discover more, if you want to modify something, if you want to change something, then you will be able to come up with an effective research. You will be able to provide contributions to the study. Research, as we have understood, follows a step-by-step process of investigation that uses a standardized approach in answering questions or solving problems. Therefore, we have to ask ourselves, why are you conducting a research? Why do we have to do it? First one is to gather necessary information. You're conducting research for nothing. You're conducting a study or you're conducting a research study because you want to gain something. You're needing something, and that is the detailed information of a specific problem. To make changes, if you think the study of a certain researcher isn't enough, you're gonna make changes. To improve the standard of living, that depends on what type of study you're conducting. For a safer life, to know the truth because you are giving facts, you're gathering facts here. And lastly, to provide solutions to the problems. After the conduct of your study, and if you think there's no solution, then that's nonsense. You're conducting a research because you would like to provide solutions to the problems. Don't add problems to the research problems. You are to solve the problems. I hope you understand why you're conducting a research. Let's continue. What are the characteristics or features of research? The first one, we have empirical. It is based on direct experience or observation of a researcher using verifiable evidence. When a person or a researcher is conducting a specific study, we can say it's empirical because it's based on observation, it's based on evidence, and it's based on person's experience. The second one is systematic. As what we've mentioned earlier, it follows orderly and sequential set of procedures which are based on valid procedures and principles. You're not conducting a research from a conclusion, or you have to start from a conclusion, because you cannot come up with a conclusion and recommendation if you haven't gone through with interpretation, analysis, and so on. The third one is analytical. It involves a careful interpretation of data gathered through the use of analytical and logical reasoning. Once you have gathered everything, once you're done with the instruments, or once you're done with everything or the procedures, you have to analyze. You have to code. You have to interpret the data that you have collected. Number 4, it is objective. It is not and will never be subjective. It refers to the research which is unbiased and logical. You have to consider everything. I mean, when we say objective, you're not biased. You don't have to agree with someone or something because you have the same viewpoints or you have the same point of view. You have to weigh things, you have to weigh options. That would make your research objective. And number 5 is critical. Research exhibits careful and precise judgment. You're conducting research because you would like to evaluate everything. You have to assess everything if it is if it is null or if it is valid, and so on. These are the characteristics of research. Let's apply now. Our first activity is to identify the 5 issues in your community that concern the people in your neighborhood. I want you to write 5 problems that interest you most. You may not say that these are problems and these are no longer interesting. Okay? So, these are problems that interest you the most. Because when you are interested in something, then you'll be able to come up with better or effective results. And activity number 2, in an illustration, I want you to show the importance of research in the advancement of our society. That depends on you what type of illustration you're gonna make, as long as you're able to show the importance of research. Next, this is the rubric. Of course, in your illustration, you must observe creativity, relevance to the topic, and originality. If you have your questions regarding this topic and the activity, you may comment or you may direct message. There we go. Thank you, and see you again next time.